Good day. Slight change in the weather from yesterday. It is about 1 degree and a mixture of rain and snow falling. But it's calm, so it should be damp but comfortable. I'm at Whitemud Park, which is just off the Fox Drive and Whitemud Drive. And my intent here is to walk the old Keeler Road there and back. Back in the day, when I worked at the university, that was the way you could drive. But over the years, the road deteriorated and it was right next to the riverbank and it was starting to give way, so they closed it to vehicle traffic. But now it's a walking, bicycling trail. Used to come from that way, off of Fox Drive, and then boogie down here and up the hill to the university. It was a nice little shortcut, but number one, the neighbors at that end didn't like it. Boo-hoo on them. And number two, like I said, the road was starting to just deteriorate beyond repair for vehicles. I was going to bring my GoPro because it's more waterproof, but when I went to go use it, of course the battery was dead. I hadn't used it for 2 months and the battery drains off as it's sitting there. Plus, the last time I used it, I could not get the file sizes small enough to actually upload. It was very frustrating. So maybe this is a good thing. Hopefully my Nemo gimbal and my phone don't get too wet. This path obviously is maintained. There are some icy patches here that are shaded from the sun. I'm going to say though, 1 degree when it's damp feels like minus 10 or minus 15 almost. So you West Coast people, I feel you when it's this temperature. I'm having a lot of trouble getting my phone balanced in this thing today for some reason. First world problems. That over there is the river. One guess, what river is it? I know you would say North Saskatchewan. It's always the North Saskatchewan. Except that one time in Calgary when it was the Bow River. It is a Sunday, noonish, and not a lot of people out here right now. Only the seasoned walkers are out here, not those fair weather namby-pambies. Not sure how well you can see that through the trees, but that's a steaming pile of horse shit. And I can smell it. Off to the right is the Whitemud Equine Center. We'll get a better view of it as we get further down the road here. There's the Equine Center, kind of tucked in the trees there. Sort of visible. Even the horses said, screw this, I'm going inside. That is Captain Keeler's cabin from 1918. Obviously the namesake of the roadway here, Keeler Road. Ah, the smell of horse shit on a rainy afternoon. I somehow stupidly keep looking behind me for cars, even though this road's been closed for 30 years. This is a fairly steady grade as we walk up out of the river valley. I'm already huffing and puffing a bit. The sound of the raindrops and sleet hitting the trees is a real West Coast winter moment to me. Too bad we weren't on the West Coast. I see they built a switch back here. You used to take the road and you would continue up that way. Now we gotta zigzag our way to the top. Probably make it easier on the lungs as I huff and puff. And they built little staired shortcuts through the switchback if you want to get some stair action in. Oh, that was a good elevation change. Got some fancier box houses here. This is Keeler Point. Get a view of the river valley here. Stairs are a little sloppy and slippery with this slushy snow we've had. So I'm just taking my time. A typical early spring in Edmonton. Over there is Laurier Park and the Valley Zoo. And this over here is Bonavista Park. And there's trails over there too that one day I'll take. It's connected to the dog park, so there's a lot of dog walkers there. And on a weekend it's fairly busy, so I'll probably go there on a weekday when I'm off work. I think walking up this part of the trail will take me to Saskatchewan Drive. Not 100% sure. As usual, I pretty much wing it on these trails. Oh, after walking up those two hills, I think I need to get more cardio in my life. Yeah, we're following Saskatchewan Drive here now. That path looks a little slippery. Do I dare? I'm gonna say no. Let's stay up here for a while and then we'll hit the trail again. Ranger just went by me in his SUV. So they do check the paths. I think they probably have to be conscious of homeless people building camps down there. It's quite secluded down there if you do it right. So you must have to rustle them out. I must say the traffic on this road is significantly reduced to nothing from my day when Keeler Road was open back in my ute. Got a mixture of new construction and old construction. Kind of a mid-century look there. And then another one kind of in between where they've upgraded an older house to be more modern. They are nice. Yeah, a nice long set of stairs to take you down to the river valley. I'm not sure I'm interested. I decided against it. This slush on them is making them a little slippery. We'll get back to them though. Not sure how much cardio I can take in one day. I've had 5 minutes of it. Pretty noisy street side here. This is a fairly busy road even on a Sunday. Lots of reconstruction happening around here. Probably multi-million-dollar houses will be there in this part of Edmonton near the university. Fancy houses along here. sure they're multi-million dollar houses. That's a lot of wood. Looks like a 70s or 80s house for sure. That little trail has a nice level of no written all over it. So I'm not sure if I'm just going to start heading back to Keeler Road or not yet. If you want an ugly old house that has a nice view of the river valley, there's one for sale. I'm sure it'll be a tear down. New set of stairs that'll take me into Whitemud Park, which is currently closed, but these look pretty clear, so I'm going to take them down. Of course, remember, what goes down must come up again. It will be a long way back up again. These trails are not so good. I love how they don't put a completion date on these signs. It allows them to just take forever. Sorry, grumpy old man coming out about the way our city's planned. Many offshoot trails. These trails here would go around the outskirts of Whitemud Park and around the golf course, which I think is the Mayfair golf course. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I think I'll take this trail back. It leads to that slippery set of stairs or that trail. But first, let's go across the way here. This pedestrian bridge takes you over to Laurier Park, Bonavista Park, and there's the dog, off-leash dog park over there. This bridge has been here for many, many years. It has served its purpose well. Used it quite a bit. We'll park over on this side that we're walking towards so that we can walk across and go to the all the activities that happen at Whitemud. River's still good and frozen over here. I wouldn't call it walkable though. I don't think this river ever freezes enough to walk across it unless you're a light-footed animal. I've said it before, but this river is wide. Get a picture of this map here. So we're way down here. If a person wanted to, you could walk all the way through, go through Laurier Park, come out at where the Whitemud Drive is, cross that bridge, and then go down to where I parked. We're not going to do that today, but I'm not sure what kind of a loop that would be. I think that would be a good 10-kilometer walk, I would think. I'm already at 4 kilometers and I need to walk back. So by the time I get to my truck, it'll be 8 kilometers. So that'll be pretty good for today, considering I got my chores to do. That house there is the one that's for sale. Bet it has some neat old history in it. But that English Tudor style is kind of ugly. Well, in its current state anyways. The snow and sleet has mostly turned to rain now. So if we have a rainy spring, I'm going to have to figure out how to endure that and somehow protect my camera. That's where my GoPro would come in. It's more waterproof than my phone. Okay, let's duck into the trees here. We'll see what kind of shape this trail is in. Got a lot of packed snow on it, so I'm hoping it'll be okay. Well, I'm not sure I'm quite ready for this. I don't know if I have the right footwear. This clay is all slippy. Not sure which trail is which, so I'm going to head up this way. And look at the other footprints, it's kind of slippy. They were going down though. Nothing like an urban forest to calm your brain. I've said it before and I'll say it again. These trails are not ready for prime time. I just baby stepped down that icy hill. So far I've stayed upright. My pace on this part of the trail is going to be horrifically slow. But better safe than sorry. Now that I'm down here, I have to make my way out again. I've hit the flat and now I'm going to have to climb again. From what I've seen where the trails are clear, this is gravel underneath here. But right now, it is not. It'll probably be, May before this has got no more packed ice on it. That would be my guess, especially in the treed area here. These birch trees nicely lay down some traction for us. Thank you, nature. Here we go again. Luckily we had this bit of snow that does provide a bit of traction. I'm finding these changes in elevation are getting my heart rate and breathing up fast. Faster than it should, I would think. I think this part of the trail, I'd have to check the signs, but is part of, I think it's either an on-leash park or off-leash trail that you can let your dogs run through here. Check the signs before you do. I thought that's what I read. And it still amazes me that these types of spaces exist right in the middle of our own city. Some of this ice isn't too bad. It's chunky enough that you can get a grip on it. The trail's pretty sloppy right now. Nary a soul has ventured their way down here today. There's a few footprints, but they're just certainly not busy. And the din of urban living is just slightly there. You hardly hear anything from the city down here. Well, I slipped on that one and went down the hill about 5 feet. Now I'm good and wet. Trail there would take me back towards Keeler Road, but I think that's the hill that was real slippery. And these were the stairs that I avoided. But you know what? I think this is probably the safer bet. It's got a handrail at least. So let's do it. And these were the stairs that I avoided. But you know what? I think this is probably the safer bet. It's got a handrail at least. So let's do it. 173 steps. If this bench wasn't so wet, I'd sit down. Catch my breath break. Whew. Okay, let's carry on. The rest of it is all downhill from here. Literally. I don't know if you can see those birds. That's a lot of birds. What is the attraction to jogging? I've never had a desire to take up jogging. That's the way I came up here from the Keeler Lookout. I'm going to carry on this way, and I pick up the trail just a block away here. Going for the safer route now that I slipped down the hill about 5 feet or more and got all wet. I think I fully recovered from those stairs. It always feels good after you catch your breath. During it, it's like, I'm gonna die. Someone's gonna need to resuscitate me. Help. Well, the rain and the snow pretty much stopped for now. It's actually not too bad a day. Just wear a hat. Oh, I'm gonna have horrible pace today. With these trails sloppy like this. It was easier going up for sure. A bit more sure-footed going up. Lots of trails into the trees there. Not sure if they're reserved for horseback riders or it's a share the trail type of thing, but there were signs for horseback riding, even around Whitemud Park. See the tracks here from the park ranger's ATV. That'd be a great job, eh? Drive around the parks in an ATV. I guess the bad part would be when you have to get out and do something. That's the part of the job I wouldn't like. Give me the job driving around these trails on an ATV, I'll take it, if that's all I gotta do. Well, off the slipperiest part of the trail now, I can pick up my pace again. Too far to see and the trees are in the way, but the couple brave coyotes still out on the ice over there. Don't know if we'll ever be close enough to see them, but they're out there. Only one jogger and one cyclist on this part of the trail. It's a great time of day to come. Down in the pass along the river, there was nobody. Well, this is the end of Keeler Road. That is the direct route back to the truck. I'm just going to head back this way the way I came. There's a little bridge going over Whitemud Creek I just wanted to have a peek at. Nice flat spot here. I wonder if you could launch a kayak there. This bridge is going over Whitemud Creek. And this is where the creek enters the river, North Saskatchewan River. It's flowing pretty good. Squirrel! He doesn't know where to go. I'm not feeding you, buddy, so carry on. Bit of a log jam there, or garbage jam. Quite often this area will flood. So I think here you can go either direction, and you'll end up at Fort Edmonton Park. And there's another pedestrian bridge that takes you across to the other side where I was before. And you could also take the trail over to, what was it, Whitemud Park. People have been feeding the birds here, I see. Must be looking for fresh food. Okay, let's get back to the truck. In the summertime, these parks get jam-packed. You gotta get here early if you want to get a nice barbecue site. I've yet to decide if I would invest in some kind of cleats that attach to your shoes. The season's just about over anyways for that kind of thing, but you know, it can go for a while in the trees where it's shadowed. So, something to think about. There's the truck over there. Let's get there and see how we did today. Felt longer than it probably was though. Well, that was 8.8 kilometers, 2 hours and 5 minutes. So not a very good pace at all, but when I was in the trees on those icy trails, I was baby stepping it the whole way. Yeah, and it felt longer than that. But just one of those days. Until the next one.